Hello, my name is Sarah and I am the founder of armchairphilanthropy.com. The first thing I want you to think about during this downtime is connecting with your audience, and I don't mean by complaining. Talk to your audience about the meaning of your work. Perhaps your new work is a response to the current situation. Develop a relationship with them, talking directly to them and delivering to them something that they just can't look up or download at any time. Give them an experience that doesn't already exist, direct engagement with you. Some ideas for that might include a video log, talk about what you're up to and what you're working on, no complaining, a guided video tour of your work, a walkthrough of your workspace. Musicians could live stream a hosted listening party where you introduce some tracks and listen to them all at the same time with your audience. I think Kurt Elling is doing that in America at the moment. Send an email to your contact list, but keep it upbeat and let them know the plans for when you're coming back. If you don't have a blog, perhaps you should consider writing one. You could make a podcast or a video cast, put something up on YouTube every week. You could post a picture of your work or something that represents it and host an auction in the comments. Apparently, if someone bids on your work, their friends will see the bid and then you might actually grow your audience as well. Have you got profiles on all the major media, including the various art distribution or streaming channels? What about offering signed copies of your work? Just something to take it up a notch from what the usual might be. Have you thought about a video tutorial demonstrating your artistic skill? A short course or a workshop? We currently have unprecedented access to each other's private, personal spaces, and we've all been thrust into the deep end of making online videos a normal type of interaction. So let's use it to our advantage. By the way, and we'll get to this a bit later, imagine if you had a special VIP list of followers who could exclusively access this output. Imagine if you could reach out to your followers tomorrow with a package of art production that would nourish them artistically if they're a member of your VIP list. During this time, we have the opportunity to invest in our audiences and reinforce why we are of value. Part of that means also telling your audience that they matter to you. Show appreciation and gratitude. Don't just tell people that your art matters. Show them why it matters. Number 2. Upskill yourself. Someone recently said if you emerge from this quarantine without a new knowledge or a new skill, you are lacking discipline rather than time. Prove them wrong. As an artist, we are often way too busy doing side jobs to invest quality time into the peripheral stuff of promoting ourselves. Well, now's the time. Now, upskilling won't necessarily reap you instant rewards today, but getting back to that whole storing nuts for the winter thing, it will mean that down the track you have some tools left in the toolbox to make something new and stay one step ahead of the crowd. Upskilling during isolation is about investing your time wisely. Would you prefer to emerge from hibernation with a new skill set or just your name at the bottom of dozens of rants and petitions? Those things are important, but you also need to think about how your business is responding to the situation. Some artists will choose to use this time wisely, and they'll be the ones running streaks ahead of the rest at the end of quarantine. So, how can you as an artist upskill? Well, there's 2 main categories for that. You can upskill your art, or you can upskill your business and promotion. I totally recommend doing both of those things in equal measure. Oh yeah, one major thing I'm assuming you're all aware of, you as an individual artist are a business. You need to be thinking about business strategy, business planning, business development, and business competition. You need to be doing something different or better than your competitors. And to make this situation more complicated, you also need to be doing one extra thing that most businesses don't have to worry about, contributing quality art to this ethereal art conversation. Doing the same old stuff ain't gonna cut it. Anyway, back to the upskill list. What business skills could you take up a notch? Businesses send their staff for training, and that's what you have to do for yourself. The good news is that in this day and age, we actually have plenty of free resources available to us. It is possible to deliver an entire digital marketing campaign without spending a cent, combining graphic apps like Canva, video apps like the captioning app quick.io, imaging editing on Instagram, and a whole bunch of awesome advice through podcasts. Google offers free training in digital marketing, and YouTube has a creator academy, so we really have no excuse not to be all over it. The one piece of advice I would throw into this conversation is that in all business, you have to ask for what you want, and this is no different. Your audiences generally do want to engage and see more of your work, but they're pretty unlikely to do it without being prompted. Make it easy for them to give you what you're asking, and you'll start to see the benefits. I'm a musician, and I can tell you not a day goes past when I'm not desperately trying to take my playing to the next level. And I'm going to be spending part of my quarantine revising this book of exercises written decades ago by one of the greats. And this is only one of his books. No matter what art you do, there's an equivalent to this book for you. But what else is there? I'm probably mostly going to talk about music because that's what I do, but there's an equivalent for everyone. Once I'm done with this book, I might learn to use a loop pedal or a recording effect, try composing some music, or creating new sounds by experimenting. I want to develop those skills because in a business sense, they are something that will help distinguish me from the next person, but in an art sense, also develop my expressive techniques and enable me to continue to contribute to the art conversation as a performer. Don't be mistaken, artists have a lot of work to do. Okay, number 3 is going to be no surprise. Ask for what you want and make it easy. We've just talked about spending hibernation, making it easy for your clients to engage with you by giving them positive, invested content, masterfully digitized and delivered. Now it's time to close the deal by telling your audience how they can engage directly with you. This is the part where you bring them full circle and drumroll, complete that connection that you've been building. Do you want them to sign up to your mailing list, subscribe to your YouTube channel, download or purchase a track, ask them to join a Facebook group? By the way, Facebook groups are the new thing for growing your fans because they bring together people who share a common interest. You have to ask them to do that. If you're throwing a bunch of information out there and not getting anything back, it's technically only half of a conversation, and you're therefore not making that connection with your online audience. So don't forget to ask for it. Armchair Philanthropy is about completing this connection too, because it basically provides a hands-free way for supporters to engage without actually having to do anything. Earlier, we talked about creating a VIP list so that those interested in your work can access exclusive membership benefits. With AP, you could do that. You know, I jokingly say that AP is a good way for that long-lost uncle to show support for your art without actually having to sit through a whole concert. But it's the same in these times when we can't actually go to physical engagements. Invite your followers to invest in your future. AP is a way for your passionate supporters to go one step further than just joining your mailing list or Facebook group. For just $3 a week, your supporters can contribute to your active hibernation, connect with you, and keep you humming along and creating. It works whether we're in quarantine or not, whether we're delivering art or not. And again, I add that your audience does want to connect with you. If you just then felt like nobody would pay $3 a week for you, then I would encourage you to reflect on that thought. To me, that suggests that you don't think your own work is worth $3 a week to anyone, and that tells me that you either got to learn to love your work more or you got to up skills so it's unquestionably worth even 100 times that much. There are many AP artists who are churning through hundreds of dollars every month for delivering nothing at the moment. Zilch! They are quality creators and their audiences just want to see more of what they can achieve. There's no projects, no deadlines, no sign-up fee, no complicated reward systems, and it's Australian. So I recommend you give it a go and see what happens. But don't forget to ask for what you want. It won't just fall into your lap. So let's recap those 3 things. Number 1, connect with your followers during this downtime. Number 2, upskill your art and business practices. And number 3, ask your audiences to give you what you want and make it easy for them. In closing, I just want to say that I do want you signing petitions, supporting each other, attending online forums, and making as much noise about the value of the arts in society as you can. But I also want to see you investing your time wisely, upskilling, developing, experimenting, and advancing so that you're completing that equation. An old adage is, I only want to hear about your problem once, and after that I want to talk about solutions. Give them a reason to want to invest in the arts. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, but let's make sure that wheel is turning something valuable at the same time. Best wishes everyone, and I'll talk to you again real soon.